Have you ever noticed that? The more stressed you feel, the higher your blood pressure seems to get. For some people, it shows up as constant tension in the head, a racing heartbeat, poor sleep, irritability, and a body that never truly relaxes. But for others, it looks completely different. Their belly slowly gets bigger, their body feels heavier, they feel tired after eating, move less and less, and over time, everything inside the body starts to feel slower and more sluggish. What's interesting is that, even though the causes may look very different, they often lead to the same problem: blood pressure that gradually becomes harder to regulate. And this is something many people tend to overlook. High blood pressure doesn't always come only from eating too much salt or simply getting older. Sometimes it's a sign that the entire body has been under pressure for far too long internally. From an Eastern wellness perspective, some people fall into a pattern of too much tension, too much internal heat, while others are dealing with too much internal buildup, slower circulation, and a body that gradually becomes heavier and less efficient over time. And that's also why not everyone with high blood pressure responds well to the same foods, the same herbal drinks, or the same approach to healing. In this video, I'll share high blood pressure from an Eastern perspective in the simplest and most practical way possible, why blood pressure rises, the most common body patterns behind it, and gentle ways to help the body gradually return to a more balanced state from within. From an Eastern perspective, high blood pressure is often about more than just the heart. Many people think high blood pressure is simply a problem involving the heart, blood vessels, or eating too much salt. But in Eastern wellness philosophy, high blood pressure is rarely viewed as a problem caused by just one organ alone. More often, it's seen as the result of long-term stress, poor sleep, a constantly overstimulated nervous system, overeating, sluggish circulation, long-term internal buildup, and chronic imbalance within the body. In simple terms, high blood pressure is often viewed as a body state that has become too tense, too overheated, or too overloaded. When the body stays in that state for too long, blood vessels also begin to tighten more easily, lose flexibility, and struggle to relax naturally over time. And that's why many people continue taking medication, yet still feel exhausted, unable to sleep deeply, mentally tense, easily overstimulated, with blood pressure that continues to rise and fall unpredictably. Sometimes the issue isn't that the body needs more medication. It's that the body has been under pressure for too long, without ever truly recovering underneath. Because from an Eastern perspective, if we only focus on forcing the numbers down while the body is still dealing with chronic sleep deprivation, nervous system overload, low-grade inflammation, or sluggish circulation, then the deeper imbalance underneath often remains unresolved. One of the biggest differences in Eastern wellness is that the focus is usually not just how to lower blood pressure quickly, but rather how to help the body return to a more balanced and stable state overall. And each root cause behind high blood pressure often requires a different approach, because not every body needs stronger intervention. Some bodies actually need less pressure, less overstimulation, and more time to recover properly. That's also why Eastern wellness approaches often combine nutrition, daily habits, gentle movement, herbal support, massage and body work, and lifestyle adjustments to help the body improve gradually from within, instead of focusing only on a blood pressure number. So in the long run, the most important question is often not, how do I lower blood pressure as fast as possible? But rather, why is the body struggling with blood pressure in the first place? Because when we understand the deeper pattern underneath, we can begin to make adjustments that fit the body better, support recovery more naturally, and help blood pressure become more stable over time. And now, let's look at some of the most common root patterns behind high blood pressure that many people today are experiencing, without even realizing it. Stress, tension, poor sleep. This is probably one of the most common patterns behind high blood pressure in modern life today. It's especially common in people who do a lot of mental work, live under constant pressure, overthink everything, spend long hours on phones and computers, stay up late for years, or rarely give their nervous system real rest. Many people in this group don't even feel sick, they still go to work, stay busy, and keep pushing through daily life as usual. But underneath, the body is almost always stuck in a state of tension, pressure, and constant internal urgency. During the day, the mind never fully slows down. At night, the body feels exhausted, but the brain still refuses to rest. These are also the people who often struggle to sleep deeply, wake up in the middle of the night, wake up already feeling tired, or feel mentally tense the moment they open their eyes in the morning. Some people also experience a racing heartbeat, palpitations, facial flushing, pressure around the forehead or back of the neck, internal heat, irritability, and the feeling that the body is always on edge. From a modern perspective, long-term stress keeps the body producing cortisol, adrenaline, and other stress hormones. Over time, these hormones can lead to a faster heart rate, tighter blood vessels, a constantly overstimulated nervous system, and blood pressure that gradually becomes harder to regulate. From an Eastern perspective, this is often seen as a body pattern where pressure and circulation kept pushing upward. The nervous system and emotions have been held in tension for too long, and the body stays trapped in a state of internal heat and tension. In simple terms, when the nervous system stays tense for too long, circulation also tends to rise upward more intensely. Over time, the head may start to feel tight, hot, restless, while blood vessels gradually lose their natural flexibility. And many people don't realize their body has been stuck in survival mode for far too long. They assume poor sleep is normal, stress is normal, heart palpitations are normal, or constantly feeling tense and exhausted is simply part of modern life. But in reality, these may be early signs that the nervous system and circulation have been under pressure for too long. For this group, the goal usually isn't just lowering blood pressure quickly. It's helping the body truly slow down again. That may include sleeping earlier, reducing nighttime stimulation, cutting back on caffeine, staying up less at night, walking daily, breathing exercises, and creating real recovery time for the brain and nervous system. Because many times, what raises blood pressure isn't just food. It's a nervous system that has been overloaded for too long, without ever truly recovering. Build-up overload slow metabolisms is a very common pattern behind high blood pressure today, especially in modern life, where many people eat more than their body truly needs, move less, sit for long hours, sleep too little, and rarely give the body enough to recover and regulate properly. Many people in this group don't necessarily feel like they eat too much, but over time, the body keeps taking in sugary foods, greasy foods, ultra-processed foods, fast food, alcohol, late-night meals, and excess calories for years at a time. Gradually, the body begins to store more fat, retain more fluid, slow down metabolically, and feel heavier and more sluggish internally. At first, people may only notice a little weight gain, more belly fat, or feeling tired after meals. But over time, clear signs begin to appear: heavy fatigue, sleepiness after eating, feeling bloated or weighed down, mild swelling, or a constant sense that the body just doesn't feel light or energized anymore. Some people also develop fatty liver, high cholesterol, rising blood sugar, or early signs of metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance. From a modern perspective, when fat accumulation and chronic inflammation continue for years, blood vessels also begin carrying more strain. Visceral fat, low-grade inflammation, blood sugar instability, and poor metabolic function can all contribute to stiffer blood vessels, poorer circulation, and blood pressure that gradually rises over time. Especially when the body retains excess fluid, the heart also has to work harder to pump blood throughout the body, and this is something many people overlook. High blood pressure isn't always because the body is too strong. Sometimes it's because the body has been overloaded for too long, and that's why many people in this group often experience high blood pressure, high cholesterol, belly weight gain, fatigue, and difficulty losing weight all at the same time. From an Eastern perspective, this is often viewed as a body state where internal buildup continues for too long, circulation slows down, and the body gradually becomes heavier and more sluggish from within. In simple terms, the body starts to feel like everything inside is slowing down. Circulation becomes less efficient, fluid and fat accumulate more easily, and blood vessels gradually lose their natural openness and flexibility. What makes this dangerous is that it often happens very slowly. Many people think, I'm just gaining weight because I'm getting older. But in reality, it may be a sign that circulation, metabolism, and vascular health are slowly falling out of balance. For this group, the goal usually isn't extreme fasting, aggressive detoxing, or trying to lose weight as fast as possible. It's helping the body gradually become lighter in a more sustainable way. That may include simplifying meals, reducing sugar, cutting back on greasy and ultra-processed foods, drinking less alcohol, eating at more regular times, adding more vegetables and natural fiber, and moving the body consistently each day to support circulation and metabolism more naturally. And many times simply walking regularly, sleeping earlier, eating lighter, and reducing long-term overload can already help the body feel lighter, more comfortable, and more stable over time. Weakness, long-term exhaustion, poor recovery. Not everyone with high blood pressure fits the pattern of too much, too overloaded, or overeating. There's another group that often gets overlooked. These are people whose bodies have been gradually worn down over many years. This pattern is especially common in people who stay up late for years, work beyond their limits, live under long-term stress, struggle with chronic poor sleep, or simply feel their body becoming weaker with age. What's interesting is that many people in this group aren't necessarily overweight. Some are actually thin, low in energy, not eating excessively, yet their blood pressure still rises or becomes difficult to stabilize. Many of them also experience constant fatigue, heart palpitations, light or restless sleep, frequent waking during the night, weakness in the arms and legs, mental tension while the body itself feels drained. Some people also notice lower back soreness, weak knees, ringing in the ears, or the feeling that the body just doesn't recover like it used to. From a modern perspective, years of poor sleep and chronic stress can keep the nervous system constantly activated. When cortisol and stress hormones remain elevated for too long, they can place more strain on the cardiovascular system, blood vessels, and the body's ability to regulate blood pressure naturally. Long-term sleep deprivation can also strongly affect hormones, recovery capacity, low-grade inflammation, and the autonomic nervous system, the system responsible for regulating heart rate, blood vessels, and blood pressure. From an Eastern perspective, this is often viewed as a body that has been deeply depleted from within for a very long time. In Eastern wellness philosophy, the kidneys are not viewed only as the physical kidneys themselves. They're also seen as being closely connected to vital energy, recovery, sleep, internal stability, and water balance within the body. And when the body stays depleted for too long, these regulatory systems also begin to lose balance. In simple terms, the body no longer has the same reserve it once had to maintain stability. That's why many people in this group feel exhausted, unable to sleep deeply, easily overstimulated, while also dealing with high blood pressure, yet still don't truly feel healthy. And sometimes blood pressure rises not because the body has too much, but because the body has been exhausted for too long, while still trying to function every single day. Things many people overlook. Many people focus only on what should I eat to lower blood pressure? But in reality, blood pressure often reflects the overall state of the body over time. And that's why some people continue taking medication or using herbs believed to support circulation and blood pressure, yet still feel tired, restless, unable to sleep deeply, or like the body never fully settles down. Because many times, the body may need more than simply bringing the numbers down. It may also need deeper rest, less nervous system overload, better circulation, and time to truly recover from within. By now, you may already be starting to see that High blood pressure is not always just about the heart or eating too much salt. Sometimes it can be a sign that the body has been carrying stress, tension, inflammation, poor recovery, or internal imbalance for too long. And that's also why not every person with high blood pressure responds well to the same foods, the same herbal drinks, or the same approach to wellness. In the next videos, we'll explore simple herbal drinks, foods that may fit different body patterns better, traditional Eastern herbs, and daily habits that may help support circulation, sleep, stress recovery, and more stable balance naturally over time. If you're interested in body awareness, Eastern wellness, and learning how to care for your body in a more natural and body-appropriate way, subscribe to How to Live Naturally. Thank you for watching until the end.